feel like it's been a while since we've had a catch up. I feel like I've talked a lot about topics recently and not a lot about the details of actor life, what I've been up to progress my acting, different projects I've done, different jobs I've done. So I thought today would be a nice opportunity to have a catch up and let me know what you've been up to as well in the comments. Let's chat, let's catch up, and also please subscribe to follow along with my journey and support me because it does help me out. And I would also really like to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year, and like the big goal is also 1,000 subscribers, and you'd also be helping me towards that, to be fair, so please do. So the first thing that happened recently that was very fun and exciting was I was acting in another short film, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and it was quite a sizable course that I was in a short film for. So there was about 11 or 12 different people working on the short film from the course, and there was also facilitators working to help them and like guide them through the process of making a film, which is really interesting to hear their guidance on like how you should hold a set, be like, thank you, that's great, moving on, like maintaining a positive environment, looking out for each other, and all of the different purposes of the different kind of shots and how they can be used in a film. And hearing them learning filmmaking was really interesting, and also it was such a fun script. I feel like it was such good practice because I had the majority of the lines because my lines were a lot more wordy. There was actions that I had to get in and time correctly. There was also the blocking of it that I had to get right, and also sometimes I'd get redirections or I'd get told actually that's not in shot, you have to have this prop at this exact level. So keeping all of that in my mind and making sure that I had everything done correctly, I feel like is really important, because sometimes you do get those more complicated scenes where you are the person with most of the lines and you are the person who has to time all of this stuff correctly. And also, if you do mess up on one take, being able to stay calm and action what went wrong and like fix it all, and make sure that you stay calm and you're not letting the fact that you messed up in the last take affect the next take, is a really important skill to learn. So it was a really fun story, a really fun short film. Like, I had an incredibly fun, great day with some really great people. So it was a fantastic, fantastic Wednesday. I'd rate it very high. I had a great time, and I think it's a nice reminder of why I like to do what I do. And I also think it's a very different kind of vibe to a lot of the different short films I've done before. So hopefully the footage will be able to like vary up my show reel and give a different sort of vibe on my spotlight, which will be really helpful. And also something that's happened is I've done a new type of freelance work, which I hadn't really thought about doing before, but then I saw it advertised and I thought it was a really interesting opportunity and type of work, and it's being a freelance script reader. So there's a specific way that you have to provide feedback for extracts of scripts that may be put on in a sort of festival format. So when they're trying to decide which scripts to move forward and which scripts to put on the stage out of all the scripts that have been submitted for any sort of like new writing thing, they sometimes get people in to read a selection of some of the submissions. So I got to do that, and that was really interesting, and it's made me look at scripts in a whole entirely different way. It's made me watch things in an entirely different way because I'm looking at all these different areas of like pacing and stuff, and the storytelling and the originality of it. It's made me want to write even more, because I feel like the more you learn about writing, the more you're then capable to be able to write the kind of things that you want to act in, and that would be so fun. So it was a really interesting piece of work, and it's something that I'd like to do more of, but apparently you just have to submit yourself and contact these kind of places with information about you. According to Google, that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to just be like, hi, I've done some freelance script reading, this is me. And I also have 4 weeks of work coming up working backstage on a show, which is exciting because it's nice to have that regular work, and it's nice to be able to go into work and see the same people every day, because sometimes when you're doing sort of freelance work, you don't really have that. And I feel like when you don't really have that, you gain more gratitude for the fact that you can go to work and you can be like, see you tomorrow, and then you see the next people the next day and the next day, and you have a sort of work community, which I think is really nice and really good for your head and your mind. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And also there is sometimes a lot of waiting around between like different bits of work that you do at different points in the show. So I was thinking it would be kind of iconic if I wrote a short film in those little breaks where you don't have so much to do. But I don't know whether I will. But it's an idea. Like, it's interesting to be able to do something with that kind of time. Like, some people do some kind of like crafts or something, or some reading. I've also been doing all of my regular weekly skills and activities to keep learning, keep creative, keep growing, keep putting myself out there in the world and not just like hiding away in the house. I think it's really important to go out and do things and learn things. So I have been going to the comedy improv group a lot more, which is really interesting because it's something that I only started like late in the summer, but it's really interesting and it's not at all how I expected it would be. But I feel like I'm so interested in comedy in the acting sense, so comedy in the comedy sense, I guess, because improv comedy is very different to acting, is interesting, and it's just got such a beautiful community in the group that I go to, and it's so fun, and the people are really nice, and it's just a great part of my life that I'm so glad that I found. I've also been continuing with my singing, and I also go to a Spanish group every week where we speak in Spanish for an hour and 15 minutes, and I feel like recently I've noticed improvements in my Spanish, like I'm speaking a bit faster, and it's really exciting because I just love being able to speak to different people and build those different skills and feel like I'm always moving forward in life. But also I want to get back into doing a bit more dancing as well, but it's just always finding the right class at the right level at the right time. But I'll get back to that soon. And also I've been thinking about YouTube and making more sort of like short form content as well, because I do apply for a lot of different marketing and social media jobs, and a lot of marketing and social media is becoming more and more targeted towards that short form content. So I feel like I have this channel, so I'm able to create a portfolio of short form content, and I also think it reaches so many more people. Like, I've realised the views on short form content are a lot higher because, like, I guess you're not really actively choosing between the different like videos to watch. It just sort of comes up on people's feeds and they watch a lot more of it, so it would allow my content to be found a lot more. And maybe I'm wondering if it would help me get to the 1,000 subscribers I'm trying to get to, because I'd be seen by more people. So I'm really interested in trying to do that. And also I have been posting weekly YouTube videos consistently and not missing a week for over a year and a half. However, now I'm thinking that maybe I might want to do more of these videos, like reading Shakespeare plays and watching Shakespeare plays and like updating when I have stuff to say. And because I've done such consistent content for a while, I'm wondering if maybe I'm going to put less pressure on having a video every single week, but instead focusing on having a video when I'm thinking of something specific that I want to make or say in the long form content, but then becoming more consistent on the short form content just for a little bit to see how that works, because I really want to get to the point where I can monetize this, because I feel like you hear about the finances of actors and actor life, and that is scary, and I want to be able to have all of these different income streams for myself. I'm just thinking about ways to grow this and innovate my content and make sure that I'm always happy with the content that I'm putting out. So I might miss a few Mondays. I don't know yet, but I feel like I've got some videos planned and videos are coming soon, and I've got a lot of short form videos or like clips of my interviews that I've prepared ready to go out, so I'll be active there as well. So I'm not disappearing, I'm just thinking about how to make my YouTube the best it can be, because that's what life's about. It's about getting better and doing things better. So let me know what you think. So those are the main things that I feel like have been going on recently, but also I'm in conversations about like student films. I've emailed different film courses. I'm trying to really be proactive and really put out myself and my work in order to get to where I want to be. But I would say, if you're watching this and you are an actor, like, please don't compare yourself to any of the things that I've done, because I feel like also acting life is so up and down and it's so varied, and it's so important that you don't compare yourself to other people in a negative way, because it's so easy to do, but it doesn't help, and like, things happen for different people at different times. So that's what I would say, and I hope you're all doing well. Let me know how the actor life or general life is going on in the comments, and thank you so much to everyone for watching, and thank you so much for the support. Thanks, bye.